Good afternoon, FlossTube. I am Leanne, Stitch Moon Crafts. Welcome to my channel. My channel is predominantly cross-stitch, but it is Stitchy Moon Crafts, so there are going to be other crafty items involved, and this is going to be one of those days. So this is FlossTube 48. If you are a new subscriber, welcome. If you have come across this by accident, welcome. I hope you like what you see and like and subscribe at the end. For those of you that are returning, thank you so much. I do appreciate it. Okay. Wow, lots to cover because I did miss last moon. So I do apologize. I didn't even realize life has just been really quite hectic. Hectic in a good way, but just busy. So I'm going to start with progress, and we'll start with my autumn pieces. So I do try and stitch a little bit seasonally. Last time I think I said I was going to start with my autumn at Hawk Run, Mini Deer Creek, and Ragnarok I'm keeping in my rotation. My Lisa Parker, I just needed to have a little bit of a break from that, so I haven't actually touched that one. And that's fine, it's my Heaven and Earth, and it does come and go in and out of my rotation. It never gets put away, but some months I'm just not touching it. I have, yeah, I love that piece, and I don't want to make myself not into it anymore. So I just do that as the mood strikes. But I'll start now with my autumn at Hawk Run. Now I'm also filming in a new location, so I now have a craft room. It's in a bit of a shambles at the moment, so I'm not sure whether I'm filming in the right. I kept getting like a glare, and I think I can see on the camera there's one up here across, so I don't know how to stop that, but I think it depends on the light, so unfortunately I will just have to work with it. So let me know if it's too echoey, because there isn't a lot of furniture in here at the moment, and let me know if the lighting is bad. So hopefully it'll be great for my pieces. It's definitely great because I'm sewing. This is not my machine, but my sewing machine, she's gone out for a service. I ran over a pin. In all the years I'm in my 40s, and I've never ever sewn over a pin before, and I did this time. Fortunately it didn't bend to the needle, but it buggered with my tension, so no matter what I did I couldn't fix it. So I thought, she is about 5 years old, so it was time she had a bit of a service, so I've taken her off. This machine is one my aunt gave to my daughter, so I will be borrowing that for the next 5 weeks until she's back, but that's okay. And going on to this, so Autumn at Hawk Run by Carriage House Sampling. Carriage House Sampling. Now for those of you that have been following for a little while, I'm not doing the bottom 4, so because I've got Autumn at Hawk Run, not Autumn, Halloween at Hawk Run, and so I'll be doing that as an individual piece. I don't do Thanksgiving, and I may do that one as well. I don't even know what that one is, but anyway, I'm not doing the bottom 4. I'm just doing this as an autumn piece. So I am currently up to block 3, and I think block 4. So I'm really happy with my progress. Haven't had a lot of time because I'm doing odd shifts now at work. They're sort of a bit all over the place. Block 4 I'm doing, sorry. And so I'm taking what I can when I can in terms of time to get these done. So heading, the top, and that's where I'm up to now. So doing block 4. Oh, the light might be, that might be better. There we go. So just doing the apple tree. which is this one here, that one there. So focus, don't know if that can be read clearly, but it says the woods are filled with autumn glory. So an autumn is my most favorite season. I think, yeah, I love every single thing about autumn. Unfortunately, having moved to Queensland, we don't really get the autumn touch like we used to in Victoria. And I have to say, as much as I love Queensland, the biggest thing I miss about Victoria is where we lived in the Yarra Valley, we got to see the autumn leaves literally working their way down the mountain of the Dandenongs. So we were very lucky to have that. But I'm happy with the progress that I have got on this. As I said, I'm not getting a lot of stitching time at the moment, just due to shifts at work and life, basically. I'm doing this on 28 count even weave from Sew It All Australia, coffee dyed by myself. So really, even weave, I think, is especially the 28 count is definitely one that I love sewing on, and it is also out of the big stash of even weave I bought from COVID, you know, when the world was going to run out of fabric. So I'm working my way through that one. Really happy with it. It's such a great stitch, and I do really enjoy that. And next and these are not in any particular order. So I've been working away on the Quaker flag cell that's been hosted by Gail from Wombat Hollow Crafts and Nicole from Divana Lee Designs. And the designer is Vivian from Vivsters, sorry, on Etsy. So this is the chart I have chosen to do. There are two options. So this, I don't know if I have the second one. So that's the one I'm doing. And it is a hashtag Quaker Sale. I will put the correct, I think it's hashtag Quaker Sale, sorry. Sort of one of those things you just do automatically. I don't think I have the other design, but definitely go have a look. Flags from all over the world. And it's such a great to do with other people all over the world. So I am enjoying that. I have had to do a few restarts. Once because I had my fabric orientated the wrong way, and then because I was using the wrong colors. So as in, I read the key wrong, so I had the colors, sorry about the rustling, had the colors wrong way around. But now that I've started that, I am using Silks for You. I ordered the wrong one. It was supposed to be a different color, and I'm using PR005 for the blue. So my flag will be brighter than the normal Aussie flag color, but that's okay, I don't mind. These are all the colors, so that that's pretty, looks a bit more hopefully, let's see if it, when it's out. So that's probably pretty close to it. So it's just a little brighter. It looks quite good as far as I'm concerned. I'm really happy with that. It's such an easy, it is an easy stitch. I know I just said I had a few restarts, but that was user error. So this is where we're at, and I'm doing this on 32 count even weave from Divana Lee Designs, Nicole at Divana Lee Designs Studio, and just on white. So I'm really happy with how this is progressing. Haven't done a great deal. I would have liked, oh, just move that out of the way. Would have liked to have done a bit more, but given my time constraints at the moment with work and life and everything, I'm really happy with that. So plodding along, and we do have meetups, Zoom meetups, which has been, you know, fun. I've managed to make a couple of those, so and it's just nice to have that community, because I work so much that I do find it can be, you know, when all you do is work, eat, sleep and repeat, it's a bit isolating. And I've had a lot going on in my personal life, so it's just nice to have that tune out of life and meet up socially with other people doing the same thing. And even though it's on Zoom, and Vivian's been great. She's dropped in, so it was lovely to meet her and stitch with her. So, and the other girls, other ladies, I should say. So from around the world. So I'm enjoying that, and my progress. I didn't bring my iPad, but it is Pattern Keeper compatible. You can get it on Pattern Keeper, which is what I've done. So yeah, PDF is what I'm trying to say. Then I worked on my Ragnarok. So this is a Longdog sampler. This is one of my favorites. I am absolutely loving every stitch I put into this. There is nothing about this stitch that I do not like. So there's a glare again. So doing that, just absolutely loving this stitch. It is such an easy stitch. I have got this on Pattern Keeper. I did it first print it off to use, and then I discovered that I could do it on Pattern Keeper. So that's what I'm doing, and I'm using Silks for You. Now this was the colour that I wanted to do the Aussie flag in, but I must have ordered the wrong colour, and I think it's, so this is PR012, and it's variegated. So, and that's probably, whoops, it's coming up a bit darker than what it is. Probably the bottom of that is close to it, maybe. Yeah, it's such a, this was the first time I'd ever worked with Silks for You silks, and I just absolutely love every stitch I put into it. Hang on one second. Oh, sorry. That's probably, no, it looks a bit grayer than what it is. I'll have to work out the light here. So I'm loving every stitch. There is nothing about this that I don't like. I'm working on 28 count even weave, tea dyed by myself. I wanted parchmenty colour. I'm happy with the colour. It's not quite as dirty as I would have liked it to be, but that's where I'm at. And just fix up that needle. So every stitch that I am doing, after my last debacle of my floss tube going backwards, I really hope it uploads the right way around this time. So anyway, that's where I'm up to. I think I'm a page and a half in, and that's the stitch I sort of bring out when I know I'm going to be chattering, and concentration is going to be distracted. So as I said, it's just such a great easy stitch, and it is just such a nice stitch to do, and it goes really quick. So that, I was a bit worried and intimidated by doing the Longdog samplers, because you know they look so big. Sorry, but it's just been such a nice stitch to do. And then the other piece that I have worked on was my Yuletide. So I'm doing this with the Rebel Stitches, my Friday night girls. Hello to you all. It's a Carolyn Manning design called the Yuletide Garden Labyrinth. And that's, sorry, I really can't seem to work this out. So that's what, it looks really intense, but it stitches up really quick. I was quite shocked at how, because at first I thought, oh, this is definitely going to be above my skill grades, but it has stitched up really, really quick. And I'm doing this on 38 count linen called Wicked by Divana Lee Designs. I absolutely love this color. I was really stressed about the fact that I was doing it on a linen because linen and I have not always got along. This linen is just the best to work on. It is so easy. There's no flubs. There's no flubs, slubs. There's no flub or slub, whatever they're called, in the fabric. And this is where I'm at. As I said, I absolutely love every stitch that I'm putting into this. And it is, the fabric, this color is probably very close to what it is. And that's called Wicked. So, and my cute little needle minder also from Nicole. So we're all doing this. I think Michelle, who's Shell Trails on Instagram, I think she's doing the Halloween one. And that's a Carolyn Manning design. Absolutely loving this stitch. So I generally bring that out on a Friday night and stitch it when I'm stitching with the girls. So that was it for what I have been stitching on, because my main focus piece was to get my wolves finished. Sorry, 1 minute. And I have a brush. So I started this in January 2019 as a New Year, New Start. it has been the bane of my life, and if you have followed along and watched me for some time, you would know that this piece came very close to being burned, torn up and sent to the four corners of the world because it killed me, but we got there. So it's Dimensions in Harmony, artwork by Colin Bogle, and it was for my son. So he's obsessed with wolves, absolutely loves them. So he wanted me to stitch him one, so this was what he chose. Now I ended up having to, so I made a mistake in this wolf here. So I had, for those of you that hadn't followed the progress, I missed about 6 or 8 rows along here. So I stitched the snout and the ears and forgot about this main bit. So naturally when I got to here, I was like, he looks weird. And I realized my mistake. So I literally, I think I had this, I had this wolf. So I pulled everything here and to there out on that wolf, because that's as far as I'd gone, and basically redid it. So I did run out of a couple of, or two threads, which I didn't really mind because I was able to match up with DMC. So finally we have got the wolves. So I'm going to my next, because I go to Carriage each month to meet up with the Brisbane cross stitches. They have a Sunshine Coast chapter, And so next time I'm up there, I will go to the framers and start looking for frames. So this here is where we are at, and I am so pleased to have it done. I have decided not to do the back stitching, and I haven't done the snow because I'm done. I couldn't keep going. Yeah. So that's where we're at, and I will hopefully next time have it framed to show you. So I am really happy, even though, as I said, I'm not doing the snow or the back stitching, really happy with how this came out. My son has seen it, and I will hopefully have it in time to give him for his Yule gift, which for us in the Southern Hemisphere will be around June the 21st. So if it's not complete, it will be at least at the framers. Either way, it's finished. Absolutely finished. And I did have a nice, well-earned glass of wine after that, because I just never want to ever see it again as any dimensions. And I say this every time, I'm never doing another dimensions. I hate them because of the back stitching, but guaranteed there'll be something else that will come up and tickle my fancy, and I will do it. But for now, the wolves are done, and that has been my greatest thing for the last 2 months, because my progress for last month, I had actually stopped working on anything until that was finished, because I was so close, and I was like, nope, we're done here with everything else, has to come to a stop till that's done. So that's what I did, and it was full steam ahead. So that is it for my cross stitch. My plans going forward for cross stitch is to start my wheel of the year. So I've ordered some fabric, so I will start that, and I'd like to start it as my birthday stitch, which will be the 2nd of May. But because in the Southern Hemisphere we have Samhain, which is the end of April, beginning of May, I will combine the two, and I'm going to start at the Samhain, and unfortunately I don't have it here with me at the moment to show. So that is it now for all my cross stitch. If you aren't interested in any of the other, I do have some quilting and some knitting. So I have become a little bit obsessed with the knitting. I'm really finding, because work has been quite stressful. I've had a lot going on in my personal life, not just with work. And I was actually starting to find I was getting really overwhelmed by everything. So I started, I've been working, I'll start with my daughter's project. So I made her a quilt to go on her bed, and she kept stealing her brother's single bed quilt to go with it as well, because she likes to be weighted down and all snuggly. So I decided I'd knit her a blanket, and she wanted me to knit it in patches so that it looked like something that Molly Weasley had done. So at the moment, these are the colors that oh, that's not gonna work. Okay, so at the moment I've done green and purple, and so we've got a whole heap of colors that we're gonna stitch. They're all varying sizes, but they're all 30 across. So they're, you know, like some are longer, some are really, really little, but the whole point to it is it's meant to be all, you know, higgledy-piggledy, so that, you know, like there's some little ones, tiny ones, so that it all sort of joins in. And she wanted it did sort of, you know, make me twitch a bit, because they're not all even and uniform, but that's how she wants it. She wants it to look like it's something, because her quilt, sorry, I should say, her quilt is a Harry Potter quilt, and it has been done quite randomly and scrappy because she wanted that look. And I just keep it all in this little, these are great, I got it from Kmart for something else, but obviously it's not going to stay in here because it'll outgrow it. So I have a little bag. My girlfriend's mum, for Christmas, they don't do wrapping paper, they do little bags, so which is perfect for me to take to work. And I'm knitting on some vintage knitting needles, so this one will probably be a bit bigger and then we'll pull it off, but it's great for work. I can just take it with me to work, and on my lunch break or tea break, that's what I do. Now I am also, so I went to Spotlight, they had a big sale and they had these Karen cake skinny cake things. So I loved the colors. This one's going to be for my son. He's decided he wants a blanket, but I am doing a shawl. Now I ended up buying, because I'm very much a novice knitter, so I started on normal straight knitting needles and it just got too big for that. So I discovered 8mm circular needles, and I'm really loving doing this. This is what I do at night when I sit down and watch TV with the kids. Sorry, I just need to find the ends, bring it out, and this is very much an experiment. I don't know how it's going to end. It was meant to be a shawl, but these are the colors. So I'm not a knitter, so I've got mistakes in here, like I dropped it, so I've had to tie it up there. I don't know exactly the best way to finish that, but it's just an experiment. So it's not quite how I wanted it to go. As I said, I'm not a knitter. I'm just sort of winging it because I'm going on a stitching cruise and I just wanted something to wrap around me. So I was looking on YouTube at shawls. Now these colors, way too bright for me. So my daughter's going to have this. She loves them. And it's all one ball of wool. So that blue ball that I showed you, that's how they all come, and you just basically knit it all in one. Hopefully it works out, but if it doesn't, that's okay. I got the wool quite cheap because Spotlight, which is like our Joann's, I guess. Yeah, I guess that would be like the equivalent of Joann's. Had it on sale. So, and this is my little knitting bag the kids got me for Christmas. So I've been just plodding along with that, and each night I just do a couple of rows. I'm loving the circular needles, but if you're a knitter and you have any tips on doing the shawls or any links, please definitely comment below, because I really, as I said, I'm such a novice and I've always just made either beanies or scarves, and even my beanies are quite questionable. They might get a wear out of them. Anyway, I digress. So I'm self-taught and trying to work out, because I didn't know if I'm better off to just make a rectangular one, but I thought I'd give the triangle one a try and see how we go. So then that's it for my knitting. So sorry, how cute is my mug? It's Jack and Sally. I had a dinner set and the plates were really quite garbage, but the mugs have been really good. So I'm going to go on to my other thing that I've been doing, which has been my patchwork. So originally I had said I wanted to make a quilt for my own bed. Once I got all the squares done, I just was really unhappy. It was just because it's just me. So I wanted something for me, but they've all been quite masculine. I did use reproduction fabric. I think it was Riley Blake. I can't remember. I need to find that out. I'm pretty sure it was Riley Blake. And I used a cake, like the big 12 by 12, and I cut it down into 9s. So these are sort of like, you know, I've put them into rows now. And just to give you a bit of a show of fabrics. I just, yeah, once I sort of put them all out together, I just thought they're too, and it's meant to be very rough and scrappy, which was what I wanted for my bed. But once I got it all done, I just went, it's not really, wasn't really what I was after. So it was a bit too masculine. So I decided, because my parents camp all the time. Now this, I had one left over and it was all blue. So I'm actually going to put that in the back, on the backing fabric. I think I'm just going to have scrappy layers and then have that in the middle. So I decided to make, I have enough here without adding extra fabric in between for sashing like I originally planned. It'll make a really nice lap quilt for my dad. So when they're sitting around the campfire or in the caravan or whatever, and you know, quite often they sit out in their backyard with a fire going in the backyard. So this will be perfect for that. So I've decided I'm making him a quilt for Christmas. I would like to make my mum one as well. So mum used to work with Laura Ashley, or for Laura Ashley. So I do have quite a bit of Laura Ashley fabric, I think. And I figured whatever I've got, I'm just going to put into a quilt and have that quite scrappy. So I did actually mean to bring a blast from the past that I had, that I made for my youngest child when she was a baby, and it's using sort of all very English country sort of fabric, that Laura Ashley style. I don't believe it's all Laura Ashley, but I did use some. So I'll show that next time. Then the other quilt that I have been working, it's been an ongoing project for a little while with the Rebel Girls. We, when we went to the quilt show, I think 2 years ago now, so it was my birthday present to myself, and I went with the girls. I had never been to a quilt show before, so when I got there I was completely overwhelmed and underfinanced as to what I needed to go, but that was okay. I managed to get my fabric there. So these are what I've been working on, little hex diamonds, and just looking for the chart. So I've got a whole lot, I've got a stack of all different kinds of forest floor triangles. So they're diamonds, they're all done. I've cut out all the diamonds, I've cut out all the hexies, and now I'm hand piecing them. So it's an EPP chart, and this is it. So Trip to the Stars, it's a mini quilt which will be a great lap quilt. So basically I'm doing, where the white is, I'm actually using calico. I really love calico. It's such an underrated fabric. And the chart came with the templates. So I got the hexie and the diamond. So the center one here, I'm actually reversing that. So I'm having, the colors will all be calico, and the center piece will actually be, let me show you. So the centerpiece will actually be a deer. Now I have a thing for deers and owls, so that's going to be the center one. And so I've done all the hexies, calico hexies, and they are ready to be assembled with all the diamonds. Now, being EPP, this is the first EPP I've ever done. So actually this, yeah, it's the first one I've ever done. Now I've done all the corners. So there's 4 corners that need to have this. So they're all, I think that one goes that way. And they're all from the same, I don't know, do you call it story for fabric? Line? I'm not quite sure, but they're all sort of from the same family. And it's forest floor animals. So, which I absolutely love, and with the calico, it's just going to be gorgeous. I can't remember who the fabric designer is, so I am sorry about that, but I'm storing them in these 12 by 12 scrap boxes. So both my quilts are in this, and I think Shell Trails on Instagram, that's what she keeps hers in, so that's where I went and got those from, and from Kmart, and do it that way. And this is with my daughter doing Irish dancing. I just take it along with me. So I'm doing this with Gail and Nicole. So Gail from Wombat Hollow Crafts, Nicole from Divana Lee Designs, Jenny from Jenny Stitches on Instagram, and Michelle from Shell Trails. So we've got all the bags of these. I'm pretty sure I spoke about this in a few, like many moons ago, but they're all together in there, and so eventually that will all be put together. So it's a long-term project, but that one will be a lap quilt for me, for when well, it was originally for when I go camping, but we've sold our van now, so it'll still be, you know, always need a quilt. So now on to haul, my favorite part. So this has been, I've been asked to by a girl at work. She wanted me to make her a quilt. I've never made a quilt for someone like, you know, having been asked to make one. So I sort of was like, yeah, sure, no worries. And with Spotlight having their sale, I went and just got a whole mix of crazy, silly fabric. So I got a whole lot of stuff that I know, fabrics that I know she will love. So I got some fat quarters, just super cute. This is what I want to use for binding. Little toadstools. I love them. Now, I couldn't walk past this, and she just loves all this stuff, so so had to have that in there. And because they had their sale on, everything was quite worth it. So I've got some spots, and how cute, little bees, toadstools again. And I came across this fabric, which is my favorite fabric that I had. I've made a cross-stitching project bag for myself out of this, so I got some more of this fabric, which I'll put into her quilt. And I had another staff member is pregnant, so I'm going to be doing a baby quilt for her, obviously not with these, but they're Harry Potter fans, so it'll just be a little play quilt. So I'll be doing that in Harry Potter fabric because I have heaps of that. So some more just Halloweeny, very the whole quilt will be quite, you know, scrappy and eclectic, which is very much what she's into. Now I also saw these, and I thought it would be quite a good bundle to have. So the yellow spots has stripes, so all of them have spots and stripes, and I just thought it would be handy to have. But I also saw this little, is it a jelly? I never know what they're called. So, but yeah, it says jelly roll. So this one is all the, I guess, primary colors. So I thought for the baby quilt that I had to make, I'm going to back it in like brick. I saw Nicole from Divana Lee Design Studio is doing quilt tube. She does a quilt tube every Friday. So, and her latest one is actually, I think it's called Bricks. So I just thought this would be great. I can do this in the back, have Harry Potter and stuff on the front and back with that. So I was really happy with those. And I also found these. So this one is similar to that first Halloweeny one I bought you. They're just, I'm not sure how, so it's 1 yard, so, or 91 centimeters. So I don't know if what that is, whether it's, I don't think it's a fat quarter, I don't know. But anyway, I thought you can never have too much Halloweeny fabric or autumn fabric. So definitely got those. And then I had some mail come through from my best friend's mother. Now, I went to school with my friend Karen. Don't know if she watches or not, but hey Kaz. Her mum used to do crafting when we were kids, and they had this massive pool table, and always on the pool table I would be fascinated with the quilt. So quite often she would have a quilt on the table that she was working at. So we were chatting because they were up here recently in Queensland recently. So I got to chatting with her and talked about all my crafts and things that I did. Now she sent up a stash of fabric. There's some Lugana, there's Ada, there's linen, little bindings. So there's 3 of those, different colors. I'm not going to go through it all, but it's just a whole big stash of fabric. And there's also, because I'd been talking to her about some stitches that I was having trouble, that I could never seem to master. So she came across a book she had. So she's part of the Victorian, I think it's Embroiders Guild. She does say where it's from. So I'm pretty sure it was the yes, at the Embroiders Guild, and passed on the book to me. So I'm very grateful. I'm very spoiled. So it's always nice to get some happy mail like that. And it's, I believe her stash is quite extensive. So she was clearing it out a bit, and I'm a very grateful recipient of that. So yes, and Kaz, if you're watching, love your mum. She's just so generous, and I'm very excited, and every single bit of that will be used. So and actually these, and the whole reason I started doing knitting at the moment was because I was looking at how to crochet, because what I wanted to do was crochet tea towels. So I wanted to do Christmas tea towels, so I'll be able to cross stitch something and then eventually learn how to crochet the top of the tea towel. So that is it for me today, and I'm really happy at the progress that I've made with both my stitching and the quilting. So my quilting has slowed down a bit because my machine she's gone for a service. So I'm going to give my daughter's machine a crack this afternoon and see how we go with that. If I'm not happy, I'll just leave it and wait till it comes back. But that is it for me for now. So definitely check out the flag sale, so the Quaker flag sale on Instagram. That's using the hashtag. And happy stitching, and I will hopefully see you next full moon. I will make sure that I'm a little more organized. So stay safe everyone, and happy stitching. And don't forget, if you're new here and you liked what you've seen and you want to see more, please like and subscribe, tick the little bell, and you'll know when I eventually update. So as I said, I do hope to be a little more regular this year, so I'd like to try and keep it once a month. It'll be either weekend of the full moon, whichever's closest. So yeah, take care, happy stitching.